So this is 30 minutes or so into the movie.
Oh, it smells great.
I hope you're hungry. All homemade. Everything you see on the table is from the farm.
How long did we shoot it for? Because there were quite a lot of shots.
Yes.
Shot it over a couple of days. I remember being nervous about breaking because it did seem really reliant on the rhythm of everyone, but it actually was fine because we'd rehearsed it a bit and everyone had dived in and was, you know, we were committed.
Yeah, I like that it felt like that, you know, that it felt like a machine that way, that it was, I'm trying to think. Yeah, it was a while. We did a lot of the whole scene from different angles.
Quicker, and photographs look exactly like photographs.
I like photographs, mostly sports photographs.
What kind of paintings do you make, Lucy?
Well, I'm not an abstract artist, so that's in my favor.
I will never forget our first rehearsal of this and us laughing. Like, we all got the like fit of giggles, and it was just the most hilarious thing I think I've ever. We didn't even shoot it, but it was the rehearsal that was just so funny.
Jake used to paint too, of course.
And that was fun.
It's funny, wasn't this scene pretty much the only scene that we were worried about continuity on for a moment?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't really care all that much. I think that had to do with the prop guys. Again, they were so committed to everything, like the candles need to be the right length. And...
Yeah, I know.
It's so tense and so funny at the same time.
Yeah.
Like that painting of that girl sitting in a field looking at a house.
Christina's World, Wyeth, yes, exactly. But without people.
How can a picture of a field be sad without a sad person looking sad in the field?
That's an interesting problem. I struggle with that. Well, I have some pictures of my work if you'd like to see them.
We had no idea that you were doing this with the camera that day. I was so surprised when I watched this.
A lot of what we were trying to do was anticipate the movements, like who was going to speak next, because we were trying to sort of like, as if this was in your head, you would know, now you're going to speak.
These are...
Let me just say that's a prosthetic toe fixture.
Oh, yeah.
There's not a person in them feeling sad or joyous or whatever other emotion you said.
Well, maybe think of yourself as the person looking out at the scene.
Well, I'd have to see me in them.
The whole house was incredible, actually, wasn't it?
Oh my God.
The whole film is so detailed, visually.
We had the farmhouse and we couldn't really afford anything else. So we started to work with wallpaper, and we were trying to find wallpaper. We looked at a lot of old photographs, and we saw a lot of wallpapers and patterned clothing, and it felt very beautiful and very cluttered and complicated to us. And so we were trying to sort of incorporate that into the production design. You know, thinking about like when you're shooting through the dining room into the living room, or vice versa, that you would see both sets of wallpapers and how they would look.
I remember saying to you, Charlie, it was like having dinner with ghosts. Like everybody was a ghost.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And how do you interact? How do you have dinner with a group of ghosts?
I suppose like that guy is so lonely and disconnected. It really is like living with ghosts, isn't it? If you don't deal with your crap in life, it just exists in you as ghosts and kind of controls you. And that does happen decade after decade unless you look at it. And it's just become so toxic.
Jake tells us there's been lots of famous husband and wife visits.
Dad.
Yeah, I guess there have been some. Pierre Marie Curie shared a Nobel Prize in physics.
Well, Even I've heard of them. Well, I've heard of her anyway, radiation.
Radioactivity.
Radium.
Yes.
I am so glad Jake has found someone. Won't you please tell us the story of how you met?
So much love between mother and son.
Oh, it's so tense.
It's so tense. It's so brittle and so funny because it's kind of familiar, isn't it?
Yeah.
I went with a friend to a bar near campus and turned out to be trivia night.
Oh, I love this so far. Jake is crazy about trivia. We used to play the Genius Edition of the. We used to play the Genius Edition
Genus.
of. We used to play the Genius Edition
Genus.
of Trivial Pursuit. What?
It's Genus Edition.
Oh, I always thought the word was genius. I've been saying it wrong all these years. Goes to show, I'm no genius.
That's a good one.
No. Genus is not the same as genius. A genus is a category.
I always thought it was the Genius Edition. I told everyone you knew every answer in the Genius Edition. I was very proud of that. Why didn't we get the Genius?
No!
You know what really changed this scene for me is when we talked about we're all in the same, we are at the same head. It's all one person's kind of fractured experience of government, and individual, but mostly that we're all kind of continuing. It just allowed the rhythm to change, I think, when we talked about that.
Yeah, I agree.
And he was very serious about the game, which I found, I don't know, charming. And his team was called
Brezhnev's eyebrows.
Brezhnev Eyebrows, right. And I asked him who Brezhnev was, basically, so I could say something to him. And he told me that Brezhnev was a Soviet engineer and a general of the section head of...
Secretary of the Communist Party.
during the age of starvation.
Stagnation.
Anyway, those team names drive me nuts usually. They all have them, those teams, show-offy.
But like when the pieces of the machine get like stuck and there's like a stutter in the machine of this one head and it was kind of chaos, and then the machine broke apart and then it was trying to come back together again.
Yeah.
I thought you said you were talking about Brezhnev.
Yes, that's true. But we didn't talk anymore after that, I guess is what I meant. List. And I didn't know.
In just watching that now, I really am seeing in you, Jessie Plemons, the way you're playing him. It's almost like it's like you're trying to stop the voices in your head or something. Like it's like a distanced thing and you can't stop it. I mean, I don't know whether that's intended, but it really, in watching it now, it feels like there is this, like you can't turn it off. I can see it. Like when we were shooting, I didn't quite know what anyone was doing because we were all just kind of getting through it. But I really do see that now in like little looks you give. They're kind of so, like you're just keeping it together, but it's so bloody subtle.
The line that keeps popping up, I'm thinking of ending things. It's like it's losing control of his puppets, you know.
My girlfriend wanted to leave, and Jake blurted out, "Could he have my number?"
There you go, Jake. It's about time.
And the rest was history. That was like 6 weeks ago. God, feels longer. Feels like forever in a way. I can't even remember how long ago it is.